So,
Mhm.
you guys watch Outer Range or what?
Yeah.
I
That's a
mean,
whole other
I
episode.
haven't,
could we
I haven't
just
watched.
could we
the-
just fucking talk
I'm
about
a-
that for a
I'm
second?
a
I
couple
feel like
behind.
you're really into it, so I would like to hear some of your biggest theories that you love. What have you read, or what do you think that you absolutely just hope is true?
Uh,
I'm a little behind, so no.
What are you behind?
Well, how many episodes are there?
there's
I think I saw
two
4.
came out today.
Oh, I didn't see those. I didn't see
They
those.
come out
came
like
out
2 at a time.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see those episodes. I
Two
saw it
came out
before that.
today. I've watched 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, me too.
Okay,
I
then we're
watched
all
1, 2,
then
3,
we're all
4.
there.
Yeah,
Never mind.
yeah.
We're all square.
I read somewhere that when he crumpled up that deed that the kids handed him in the first episode and threw it in the hole,
Yeah.
that went back in time, and that one of the Tillersons ancestors found that, and that's how they changed the map 100 years before
That's how they made it become their property.
that's how they
officially?
made it become their property officially. Like it was like an idea, and then when they found that paperwork, that was like, oh well, this is paperwork from the fucking 1864, so this is earlier than your guys's. And it was because he threw it back in time. What?
That's pretty cool. I could get behind that.
Yeah, I don't
Dude,
know.
the
The cult
episode-
is rad.
The episode where he goes in and just sees everybody at like the military base, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm in. I was.
Is it
just
a
in.
military? I mean, I guess
don't know,
it's
that's
like
what it
it's
looked
some
like.
kind of scientific thing, but there's like
Yeah.
oil rigs in the background. And
It looks like a community that's self-sustaining. You know what I mean?
well, yeah. I mean, and then there's the cult aspect of it with
Which
the
is, yeah.
them and their
He
necklace.
says he never knew his family or anything like that. Like he just had to. He hit a younger version of himself, just went back in time and grew up in this world, and now at this time he's just starting to experience things that are like, oh shit, this is what's happening. He never really
He was a part of the
picked
cult.
up on it. Yeah.
Yeah, him and that girl had been part of the same cult, I think.
You're talking about the
Autumn.
blonde girl, right?
Autumn
Yeah,
Rivers,
She's probably my favorite character.
Autumn.
Her and Will
Imogen Poots,
Patton, her and Will Patton, the dude who plays what's his name, Rittenhouse.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rittenhouse,
What's his name? The neighbor.
Tillerson.
Tillerson, that dude, the dude from that actor, that's one of my all-time favorite actors.
Oh,
Which
the,
was?
the father?
Will Patton, the dad.
Oh,
Will
the dad.
Patton.
That dad. Yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah,
that
yeah.
guy's the all-time favorite actor.
That guy's a loon in this
Cool.
movie.
He's
I
great.
mean, in this show,
Yeah.
that guy's a
Josh Brolin's
loon.
the best.
What's
And
the
Josh
Rock?
Brolin's great. I don't
What?
know.
Josh
Yeah.
Brolin's playing Llewellyn Davis.
Yeah.
Llewellyn Moss.
Llewellyn Moss.
yeah.
That guy too. I've heard it both ways.
Llewellyn Davis is another great movie. If we ever get to do that, that'd be cool.
That's a real movie.
That is a movie. It's Coen Brothers movie.
That's where I heard that from. Well, I have a list of movies. Is it my turn to pick movies yet?
It
I
is.
mean,
You're
you
up
picked
next.
the Galaxy Quest. You picked the last one.
The last one that came
No.
out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No,
You
and
picked the
then
last one.
and then I went. And
Oh
then
no, yeah, then we
the
did
Northman's
the Fountain.
you.
I forgot, and then we did Northman. Yeah, you're up. What are we
yeah,
watching?
Big Anthony's up, dog.
I kind of want to do an animated movie.
Ooh, so that's a big responsibility for the first one. What
So,
what
yeah.
are you thinking?
I've narrowed it down to 2.
Oof. All right,
I
give
feel
it
like
to us.
I feel like one you might laugh at, and one you might that might be interesting. But we'll
I
talk. Maybe
hope-
we'll talk about
I
the
hope-
end. We'll
I
talk
hope
about
it's
it at the end.
opposite. I hope that the ones you think I'll laugh at, I think is interesting, and the ones that you
I
think
hope
are
so.
interesting,
I hope you laugh at both of them.
All right.
We'll save that to the end. Make it to the end of this podcast, and you'll figure out what our first animated movie is going to be.
Bum bum bum.
That's fun. That's like a real like teaser.
If you text one of us saying that you listen to it, I'll Venmo you $10.
Oh yeah,
just to make some traction on the podcast.
yeah. Me
All the
too.
way down to
Get
the
people
bottom.
talking.
Me too.
Get
If you
people talking.
text one of us, I'll Venmo Schwartz $10.
so yeah, or even Stevens.
This is considering Schwartz hasn't blocked you on Venmo.
Yes, the only
Is that
person I
some-
can't communicate on Venmo with is Jake, so don't even try that.
Some people get blocked by Schwartz because he's a son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm a real a-hole.
I can see your a-hole from here.
It's a reflection. It's right there.
It's in the mirror behind you. All right. What is your favorite theory of Outer Range?
My thing is I don't really have a theory yet. I think there's a lot
What are your
of
thoughts? What is the hole?
the hole is it's like a black hole in another place, right? It's like the event horizon or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You go
Seems
in
like
there and-
it's a rift in time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a thing you throw something in. And
Wow.
what's with the guy ending up on top of the mountain, like couple hundred yards away? What's up with that?
I don't know.
That to me is the biggest mystery of the
So
show.
he ended up not too far distance, but far chronologically, because when they found him, he had only been dead for like however many hours.
Yeah, which makes that other guy's story kind of stand up because he couldn't have done it 10 hours ago. I think it was like 10 hours.
Yeah.
that's what's cool
He
about the
shouldn't have
show.
fucking
That's
said
what's
anything.
cool about this show. There's a lot of ways that all these people can get shut down and their shit get like their story arc just be like the whole thing with the blood on the fucking buckle. Like that guy was done for. Like he was in. Like they had him, and then that shit went down where he stole it. Like that was amazing. Like this show, what I'm realizing is anything can happen. Like they're gonna get backed into walls and they're gonna get out of it in any way possible. Nothing's off limits, which I think is interesting.
Nothing's off limits.
You think though there's going to be aliens?
Oh, for sure.
So when you described
I
it
hope
to
so.
me, I thought it was going to be like a Western. I thought when
old,
you
like,
described it to
timey
me, I
Western?
thought it was going to be like Western and aliens. I didn't realize
Like
it's going to be
cowboys and
like,
aliens?
I thought it was going to be more cowboys and aliens ish.
Nah, man, I'm glad it's not.
Or
'cause I'm not a fan of
space
that one.
cowboys?
That's not a science fiction
Space
movie.
Space Cowboys is
Cowboys
that's a
is
Clint
a-
Eastwood movie.
I guess it's
entertaining film.
kind of a science fiction movie. That's
Haven't
this.
seen that one
That's the
either.
whole like, why would you train these guys instead of these guys situation?
I don't know.
Man. Well, it's
Because
it's
they
fucking-
know the machine.
Tommy Lee Jones and Clint Eastwood are a good pair, man.
Yeah, why did they send cowboys to space? Were they
Because
cowboys in the first place?
Yeah, they
Clint
just-
Eastwood
What was the story
invented.
there?
Clint Eastwood invented the piece of equipment that they needed to work on, and he was the only person that can fix it. If he was going up, he
Classic.
was going up with his buddies.
That makes sense.
And then Tommy Lee Jones ends up hanging out up there for the rest of his days. That great shot of him just lounging. That's pretty great.
Yeah, that's how it ends.
'Cause
Just
he's
like
ba-
in
he's basically
Armageddon.
he's just a stubborn old man, and this is a stubborn old man movie in space.
So,
This is a stubborn old man movie.
Kind of, someone says he's gonna stay behind and be the guy, you know. And Tommy Lee Jones is like, you know what? I'm gonna be that fucking martyr. I'm gonna be that hero.
Why did he stay behind? It's not like they needed
He
someone to
had
detonate a
They
nuke.
did. I think they needed someone to stay behind for some reason. Why else would he do that? Like he definitely needed someone.
I
to stay
think he
behind.
just didn't want to go back. I think he
Maybe
was
that
like,
was it
I'm
then, yeah.
staying up.
Yeah, maybe. That's even better. I love that. I
Whoa!
hope that was one of
Spoiler alert
them.
to Space Cowboys. Jeez, guys.
You've never
Yeah.
seen Space
I've
Cowboys?
never seen Space Cowboys. Now you just
So
fucking
good.
told me the ending.
Space
I mean,
Cowboys
there's
is
a
so
lot
good.
more to it than that.
Pretty sure there's a Sutherland
Wasn't that
in it.
also the ending of Ad Astra?
I don't remember
Didn't
Ad
Tommy
Astra
Lee
that
Jones
good.
just stay in space?
Tommy Lee Jones was in space. Ended up being Brad
That's
Pitt's
right.
dad.
Oh,
That was
shit, I
so
forgot
weird.
about
Stayed
that.
in space.
Yeah, he was like trapped there for years. And
So-
found him.
His son was Brad Pitt, and this was
Yeah.
just like a spin-off of Space Cowboys. Ad
Dude, I
Astra
hope that
was.
was.
I remember that movie was boring. I remember
Oh,
that
it
movie.
Space
was-
Cowboys or Ad Astra?
Ad Astra, not very good.
Ad
I thought it was
Astra-
rad.
Ad Astra was very cool, especially the first half.
Well, I
it
don't
definitely goes a little off the rails, but it's a science fiction movie, so that's allowable, you know.
It was a shootout and a
On the
car
moon.
chase.
That
on
was
the
the
moon.
coolest
Yeah,
part of
I
the
remember
movie.
that was the
That was the
only
coolest
good
part of the
scene.
movie.
And then there was like a random like off the out of place like comedy scene. I remember at one point I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And it was just boring. And
Haters
then
gonna hate.
and then Tommy Lee Jones was there.
Haters
and I was
gonna
like, all right, I'm bored.
The dude who directed Ad Astra also
The
directed
doo-doo?
one of my all-time favorite.
doo-doo
movies
directed?
Called We Own the Night.
Who do
Did you call Doo Doo directed?
Who do did?
He also he also made
Doo Doo directed?
um
We Own the Night. Great movie.
We Own the
Joaquin
Night.
Phoenix.
Movie. Yeah, and Mark Wahlberg. Probably my favorite Mark Wahlberg role.
I don't think I've seen that. Either.
That's his second best role for sure.
Oh man, we gotta
haven't
watch
seen
that,
that
man.
either.
James Gray. James Gray.
You
movie.
never seen that?
I haven't seen it.
Who directed?
James Gray.
Haven't never heard of him.
We've
Same
only
guy.
done one James Gray movie.
Same
Wait.
guy directed Ad Astra.
Have we done a James Gray movie?
We have
No.
not.
Oh, he makes boring movies then, huh?
No, We Own the Night's a great movie.
No, he's just
Sounds
not
boring.
Asian, Jake. That's why you've never heard of him.
Yeah, if his name
Oh.
was like Chan-Woo Park or something, we'd watch it.
Probably.
Or Dong Lee.
That guy's rad.
Is Don
Donald.
Lee in an Avenger movie?
He is. He's
He
in
is.
Doctor Strange.
I just saw a
No, no,
trailer
no,
for
he's not.
that.
He's in the
Yeah. The
He's
Doctor
in the
Strange.
Multiverse of Madness, dude. He's Doctor Strange's right hand man.
That one.
that's not him. That's Benedict Wong. That's a different actor.
No, that's Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh yeah, no, what is that guy's name? No, that's a different actor though.
Benny Wong and Benny Cumber are in the same movie. You're saying?
Don Lee was in
I got Madonna's big dick coming out of my left ear.
that movie. It came out this year. It was
Toby who?
it was a
Toby Wong.
shitty-
Toby
it was a
then.
sh-
Charlie
a
fucking
shitty-
Chan.
Eternals. He was in the Eternals. Don Lee
Oh
was.
yeah, that was it. Why does he
Isn't
look
that the
exactly
movie
like
that,
the other guy?
Camille Nanjiani got jacked for?
Yeah, and it bombed because it was to do.
It was pretty garbage. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, but he got jacked.
He did.
Speaking of
probably still
jacked, how about
Ice Cube
Jack
Jackman?
Skarsgård?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Jack
Oops. Oh, God.
Skarsgård looking like motherfucking Jake Paul in The Northman.
God, that
Jake
guy's.
Paul.
I mean, I thought he had a nice body in True Blood.
My God.
Now he's. I don't know how.
In
he went
True
from a-
Blood?
he went from a 10 to like a 12. This
Number
movie.
one, True Blood is a good pull. Number two, Zoolander would have been my pull. He's
His
He's
name-
Minkus in Zoolander.
Fun
I
fact:
went
in True
Tarzan.
Blood, his name was Eric Northman. Northman,
Oh shit.
the movie we're watching.
Did you
I
watch
never-
True
Do the
Blood?
thing.
I
Do the
never
thing.
seen the True Blood.
The movie you're making me watch today is The Northman 2022, directed by Robert Eggers, starring Jack Skarsgård and Anya Taylor. I'm a giraffe.
What does that even mean?
She's a giraffe. I was
She's
looking at her in this movie thinking,
great, man.
nah, because you're obsessed with her.
They're a
I'm
hot
not
couple.
obsessed
And
with
I'm
her.
just
I
like,
think she's
hot
great.
couple.
you're obsessed with her. You
No,
really
I,
love
you know
with her.
what it is? The Witch is like just one of my
Great
all-time
movie.
favorite movies.
Great
and
movie.
I-
Way better
Queen's
than this.
Gambit's the first thing I
Sick.
saw her in.
Queen's Gambit's great
She
too.
was great. She was great in Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit is
She
great.
was great in Queen's Gambit. She's just a great
She's good.
actress.
She's good, but
She's awesome.
You love her. I don't love her.
There's a few actresses and actors that I'm into, and there's a couple.
Name
people
two
she's
more.
on. Two more actresses?
Yes.
I mean, J Law, of course, and another actress is the chick-
Elliot Page.
I mean, she was good in Inception.
Have you seen Elliot Page recently?
Yes, isn't it? Isn't she Ahina? Elliot?
Elliot
Elliot
Yeah, she
Page.
was Ellen. I forgot. That's why I was getting confused. Yeah, she was Ellen.
She's jacked.
He was
He's
Ellen Page.
jacked too.
Oh, okay. Like Skarsgård?
He's
Not
not
like
Skarsgård jacked.
Someone can
but
be like
he's-
Skarsgård.
dude,
I mean,
Skarsgård.
Hugh Jackman is like Skarsgård in the Wolverine.
Hugh
movie.
Jackman?
yeah.
Ice
Hugh
Cube
Jackman's got a
Jackman is-
13 pack. That's a baker's dozen.
Ice Cube Jackman is the most jackedest of Jackmans.
He'll
more than
jack you.
Skarsgård.
He's Jackman, and then he'll jack your wallet. With his claws. But the Northman,
Oh man.
starring Alex Skarsgård.
Alexander Skarsgård, yes.
I call him Alex.
Alex, yeah, if you're his bud,
Al sometimes if
Oh,
I'm
wow.
looking at him from across the shop.
if you're real good buds,
Butts.
if you're his
And
bud, Alex, if you're real
apparently
good buds, Alex.
Willem Dafoe is in this movie.
Willem Dafoe
He
is
was
the
the
small part
jester,
of the
dude.
jester.
When I saw it, I thought to myself, that might be Willem Dafoe, but I didn't. What's your word? We've already done this, but go ahead.
I'm sticking to my word, which is visceral. It's very realistic. It feels like just like The Witch did. It feels like you're really in a place that you've never really seen before, and it's done really well. It's also
Visceral.
he's obsessed with like Edgar Allan Poe and old timey everything and creating worlds, and like even the first shot with the fucking bird, kind of just like you saw it was a fake bird just floating, and the camera turns, and it's just like super. It was like a play. It was very.
Yeah,
Jake-
I'm gonna
Jake-
say
as
I'm
Jake
gonna
is gonna
say
say, it's very
Shakespearean. I don't know
Shakespearean.
if you guys are familiar with Hamlet, but
Yeah, I don't think Jake knows much about Hamlet, so we won't even have him talk.
so
about
let me preach.
What do you
Hamlet
know about it?
was based on the great Lion King.
Get-
1996.
getting all the orders fucked up. Hamlet
all
was
true.
actually based on where the story that this movie came from. It was actually based on the story of Amleth. Notice the difference of Hamlet and Amleth. Same words, just the H is in the beginning or end. Same character.
Is it a
Hamlet.
it's a monogram? Anagram? It's an
Yeah.
anagram? Is it an
Yeah.
anagram?
It's as simple as the
Is it?
H is
The
in
whole
the
time?
beginning
The
of
whole
Hamlet,
time?
and the
I'll
H is
give
at
you a
the end of
mammogram.
Amleth. At times, I thought they were saying Hamlet in the Northman. Honestly, I thought the mother called him Hamlet for a couple times. Like, what's this?
No, Amleth.
Yeah, I know his name is
Amleth.
Amleth,
Hamlet.
but it's an old Viking tale from Scandinavia, and William Shakespeare took from that
Willem
story-
Dafoe. It's Willem
Willem-
Dafoe.
Willem Shakespeare took from that movie, or not that movie, that story of the old Viking revenge story, and created Hamlet from that.
It was written in
And-
1200.
So you're telling me Shakespeare is ripping off material?
Oh, yeah,
from
big time.
1200, written by Saxo Grammaticus.
Yeah, and then we have after that the great
Fuck
Lion
Shakespeare.
King. Lion King is basically the same thing as Hamlet. Lion King's basically slightly
Yeah, but
even
that's
closer to this
Disney.
movie. Yeah,
Once Disney does it, it's like Mencia. They do it better.
but this movie is totally referential to a lot of Shakespeare, other than just Hamlet.
Yeah. Well, it's
Story wise, it's structurally
it's
it's
the same
Hamlet.
story. Yeah, it's just a revenge story.
It's the revenge story. It's the father killing it's the uncle killing the father, and then the mother marrying the uncle, and then the son seeking revenge upon the uncle. And also
This was
there was
this
a
was a
kingdom
revenge story.
stolen. Yeah, there was a kingdom stolen in Hamlet. There was a kingdom stolen in Lion King. There was a kingdom stolen in this.
I think people say like, "Oh, this is like Shakespeare," because people can't think of anything before Shakespeare. Now we can because
Yeah.
we know of
Yeah.
Amleth. But
That's
people
what
are
I
like,
thought was
"Oh, it's very Shakespearean." Well, yeah, because Shakespeare told all the stories, and you can't go further back than him in your brain right now. Like that's why it's Shakespearean to you.
For
So,
sure. And
Those
Robert
are just
Eggers,
stories. Tale as old as time.
Robert Eggers is like, that's what he strives for, is the authenticity of everything. Like that's his research is like what he's known for, like the garments and all the, even like the bowls and the cups that they're cheering with, and the things that they're singing, like they're as authentic as can be. Like the dude he wrote it with is like an Icelandic poet that like writes like all kinds of tales from olden times, and the dude is like Sjorn or whatever, Sjorn.
Yeah.
Goes by like one name. So like he just strives
Those
for
one
authenticity,
name
man.
motherfuckers. One name, single,
like Bjork.
monosyllabatic or whatever. Single syllable.
Actually, they met through Bjork, another one named person.
Yeah, I read that too.
You
Bjork
guys ever
was
see
great in
Dancer in the
this.
Dark?
I have
I
not,
haven't.
which I want to. We haven't
Lars
done a
von
Lars von
Trier, right?
Trier yet.
It's one of my mom's favorite movies.
No shit.
I hear it's pretty crazy, and I hear
Is it
she
as fucked
really
up as
good.
other Lars von Trier movies?
I'll tell you one thing. It's weird.
Okay.
And it stars a weird person.
Yeah, certainly. I've never
Is
seen
there
it.
like singing in it?
Yeah.
Is it
She's
musical?
blind. She's blind and she sings and dances and shit. It's weird.
I don't think I'd like to see that. You know which one I do want to watch of his is Dogville. You guys ever hear of that? With
I've heard
Nicole
of it.
Kidman?
Haven't seen it though.
So
Love
it's
Nicole
shot
Kidman.
on a stage, like a play, and each
Oh.
part of the stage has like a name on the floor, and it looks like a place that the script would take place, but it's all like behind the scenes of a play, but it's like not supposed to be. It's like meant to be real, but you just see it like that.
BTS of a P?
Yeah, it's
Strange.
pretty wild. I was actually gonna put down the list for this podcast.
Oh, put it on the list, yeah.
Yeah,
Pee it on the Lee.
maybe I will.
So this movie though, Northman, Tale as Old as Time, an avenge tale, a revenge tale. Is that
classic,
it?
classic revenge tale.
Yeah.
Everyone knows. it.
Told in chapters.
Yep, similar to Hamlet in all of other Shakespearean works.
Oh my God, you said that so many times already.
I said it
I
on
mean,
the other recording that was bad,
Hamlet-
so now I'm re-saying it. So
It was a
fuck you,
book. The
Schwartz.
book was better.
The book was bad.
What was cool is another thing that's cool about this is that Alexander Skarsgård has been wanting to make. Like I read that he's wanted to make a Viking movie because he like looks like a Viking, and I guess he's got the ancestry. And then he met Robert Eggers, who's a freak, and he saw The Witch, and he was like, "You had like no budget for that movie, and it like was so great." He's like, "Let's make a Viking movie," and then this is what came of it,
Earth to
that's how-
Minkus, you have to get jacked.
which is dope. You know what I mean? It's two people who like do something in the like do something like one's an actor, one's a director, and they want to make something that they each like respect and appreciate each other for, and then they go out and make something together. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. What was the budget for this bad boy?
90,
1,000?
90 trillion,
$90,000.
90 trillion
Pretty
billion,
good for
90
90
million.
How much
Jeez.
was
Which-
the witch?
90
Witch was-
million, probably
Witch was
80 of
like-
which went to his HGH.
I think The Witch was like 3, and I think The Lighthouse was like 11. So this was like a
Yeah.
very big jump.
Yeah, witch was 4. Yeah.
And The Witch was his first movie, so
Coming out with a zinger.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think The
I
Lighthouse was like 11.
let's just go ahead and do this. Is what? How do you rank his three movies?
Rankin Eggers.
I mean, The Witch will always be number one to me, and I'd say The Witch, and then that's the thing about this movie is I really enjoyed this movie, but I think The Lighthouse and The Witch are both better movies.
You think The Lighthouse is a better movie?
I do. The Lighthouse is it's like a mind fuck, and I love it.
I don't think The Lighthouse is good. I mean,
Really?
not good.
I
It's
like
good,
that
not but
movie.
not as good as these. I still like the light. I appreciate The Lighthouse,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have me
three.
as much as the other two. It's hard to pick my favorite between The Witch and this one because they're different and why I like them so much. Because this one was the quality of this one was just so.
I'm going
top
Witch all
notch.
day.
But
But
The
I'm a
Witch
horror. I'm a
Witch
horror
also
guy,
is
so
and that's a horror
effective and
movie.
How it made me feel, and it's wild.
The Witch
They're
is
all
just
wild.
impressive as fuck. The Witch is
It
just an
is.
impressive. This movie's impressive too. It's just that The Witch, I just saw it because I didn't know anything about it, and I didn't know any who Robert Eggers was, and I watched this movie that I and then it just blew my mind. It's like Sicario. First time I saw Sicario, did the same thing. I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck was that?
It's like Harold and Maude.
Yeah, Harold Mar was pretty great. But
this
yeah,
was-
I do think that this movie is a better movie. Well, in terms of filmmaking, like he did a lot of things with this movie that he didn't do in The Witch because
You
of ability
do
and
it the
scope.
the
He
other
couldn't
Witch,
do
yeah.
exactly, and
Or he
that's his
couldn't
argument. Have you ever
do
heard
it
him talk
back
about
then.
The Witch? He said he hates like The Witch because he doesn't think like what it is really what he wanted because he didn't have the skill or know what he was doing enough to do it. But he obviously likes it, but that's what he said, and I was like,
yeah,
that's crazy that he would
no,
say
from
that.
his
What it was
angle, there's
fucking
probably there's
perfect.
probably a lot of shit he wish he could have done. I get
Yeah,
that.
but and I thought about that. I was like, dude, he made such a fucking amazing movie. Like, he was so wrong about that. That movie's
No.
incredible.
Never. I mean, he's like one of those artists that's just never satisfied with his work.
Sure, but you can't really take away from how good that movie is. It's so good.
Yeah.
A lot of artists don't even watch their own work though after it's done. Like they live it for so long. They
Yeah,
breathe
that's
it
pretty
every day.
wild. I mean, you got to at least see a finished product.
I mean, directors have to watch it a bunch
directors,
of
yeah, but
times.
actors. I mean, I guess I could see being an actor, not like be like, all right, I know what the movie is, but the movie could change so much between what you say and what goes on.
Yeah. Being an actor is crazy though. Just putting yourself out there like that in front of the camera all day, like that's just a whole nother type of person.
Yeah, I'm rewatching Barry right now.
I just watched the new episode of the third season. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I forgot how
worth
dark that show
rewatch.
is, man. That's a
Great
fucking
show.
dark show. I love it.
it's dark.
It's so dark.
I watched that one and then I just blasted through the first season, and I'm on the second season right now, watching it again.
All right, so should we talk about? We basically talked about what the story is.
Who is Anya Taylor-Joy? Is she a sorceress or was she just a
She was,
chick?
she was kind of a sorceress.
Yeah, she had some sort of magic powers.
Yeah,
Weird
right.
connection with the earth. and
We
stuff,
didn't-
and
We
she-
didn't really see much of it, but
Yeah, we saw some, but it didn't really get too dove into her side.
Yeah.
Everything was very much from his perspective.
When she gets in there, she's thrown into it too.
yeah.
She just becomes like a character that you follow.
Can we backtrack just for a minute? I just wanted to say something about compared to the other movies, though.
What movies?
Before-
I got a comparison.
His other movies.
Oh yeah,
this
yeah.
one, this one to me, I think I gotta put this one on top just based off of the watchability. Like the other ones are almost hard to watch because like The Witch was as good as it is, and how much of I love it. It's like it's uncomfortable
disturbing,
at times,
yeah.
very disturbing. This was
Yeah.
thoroughly entertaining, while it was dark at times and fucked up at times. Like it was very
Sure.
very
agree.
gripping, very just it had me the whole way through.
And anything that's like mystical and
the
has
other
like
movies were
elements
hard-
of like
sometimes hard to watch.
supernatural, but also have like the sheer like violence of things, it always is so interesting. It's like the rawness of it mixed with the sick visuals is always like the Valhalla
Yeah.
shit with the horse and the blonde chick. And all
Yeah.
that. Like that shit's amazing.
What's up with the Valkyrie wearing braces? What's up with the braces?
Those weren't braces. What they
Can you
do
explain
in-
the braces?
Yeah, in Viking culture, I guess they would like carve your.
They got
teeth.
grills.
They'd kind of make them grills. Yeah, essentially they would get grills in the Viking culture, and then they would like sand the teeth down to make them more effective in some sort of way. I don't know
Googled it.
exactly, 'cause-
You went online. You said, "Why does this Valkyrie have braces?"
I did a little research on the Valkyrie. Yes. Now I didn't specifically Google that, but when I typed in about the Valkyrie, that was like the first shit that came up. I was like, why did it have braces? Or it doesn't actually have braces.
Okay,
Another
good.
thing with-
Thanks for
with-
clearing that up.
with this movie too, like the Wanners, like I
Ooh.
was kind of obsessively looking for them on the second time I watched this movie.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
'cause there's
let's
a- there's
talk
a
about
lot of
those.
them.
Let's talk
Those are
about
they're
those.
so great.
So so this movie was like the movie I've been waiting for a long time because listening on the Deacons podcast, Robert Eggers and Jaron Blaschke, the DP of all of Robert Eggers movies, were on there talking to Deacons, and Deacons was like, "I fucking love The Witch, I love The Lighthouse. What are you guys doing next?" And they started talking about how they're doing this movie where most of the shit they're shooting is all in like one take, and how they're doing it in certain times of day, kind of like fucking Inarritu did it with the Revenant and shit like that, just to get it right. They rehearse, and then when it gets to the right time, they just shoot it like 2 or 3 times. But anyway, point is that I was like, oh damn, that's gonna be crazy. And then I saw this movie, and the reason why they said they were doing it is because they didn't want to do it multi-camera because it takes away from the feeling you get, and it almost looks like it's jumbled and you don't know where you are. And at times I was watching this and I did like the camera movement. I thought the way the camera moved through the village, I thought the way it followed him and then followed other people getting killed was great. But it almost sometimes seemed a little too on the nose for me. I almost wish that it was a little more like kind of not so perfect. Like it just seemed a little too perfect for what was going on. I think because this movie, I was so anticipating this movie so much, I was really like watching it the first time to kind of like study it, like you were doing the second time, I guess. And I was just like, man, I don't know if that did for me what he wanted it to do. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Obviously, Jake fucking thought it did well.
So your criticism was it's too good.
It was too. So what it wasn't was like there was shit going on all around, and you could point the camera anywhere. Everything was a lot more planned than
Exactly.
it wasn't like. Whereas in Ritu, shit like he could point the camera anywhere. There's action happening everywhere. There's planned shots, but if he wanted to go over here, there's horses going in the background. Like that, it seems more a little like it could be a little freer. Whereas this was not. There was no freedom to the camera on this.
Yeah, there's
It's
definitely
true.
some Revenant style moves for sure.
Yes and no. But I just don't know if the style of doing it, like making it just so like the camera was never anything like this. It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was always like, and that's fine. I love that. But for this movie, I just don't know if that personally was my favorite choice that he made. You know what I mean? Because I kind of almost thought that it looked a little staged, and I didn't want that. Like I wanted it to feel like the berserkers, the fucking warriors that they were, like pumping themselves up with the whatever they were like getting high on shit, where they like whatever it was. Like I feel like that shit should have been like you should have went there. Should have felt like Saving Private Ryan.
Should have had a lot more cuts.
Maybe yeah, it should have been faster. It just wasn't fast enough. I feel it was a little too slow.
Kind of just let the action play out.
And I'm not, and this is the thing. This is totally just like, did it look great? Yes. Would I ever say that what they shot was terrible? No, it was awesome. It looked awesome, and I've never shot anything as cool as that, and it looked awesome. But in my head, I was like, man, I wish that it would have been a little bit more like chaotic. I think this needed a little more chaos than it had.
Speaking of those shots, let's just talk about this one shot when the first time we see him as an adult going through the forest, You see the boats pass, boat passes, it goes over the boat, turns right, lands on the boat, and then goes single to him.
Yeah. Those robotic movements, like they chose.
I thought
interesting.
I thought that they were heavy in the beginning and lighter towards the end. Am I wrong?
Well, that's
I think
the thing.
you're
Like,
right.
there a lot of the crazy like that first opening scene when they raid the village is really the only big action scene in the movie, except for the end. Everything else is kind of sporadic and like very quick. All the violence is very quick through the movie. You know what I mean? When he's like getting revenge and killing the people in the village, that's very like one-sided. No one's really fighting back until the end.
Yeah, they're villagers. These guys are fucking coming in hot. Vikings raping and pillaging.
Yeah.
That was wild. Those first like couple raids with him were pretty wild. Locking out everybody up in the fucking hut, lighting them on fire.
So let's talk about the story more than that, because we haven't really touched on that. So so we all know his father comes back. His uncle kills the father, who's the king.
Ethan Hawke, by the way.
Ethan Hawke was great. That scene when they go into the fucking cave with Willem Dafoe was pretty cool, man. It was a little over the top, but I mean, I was into it. I was like, all right, this is kind of dope. It felt authentic. It felt like the thing about what you were saying, Jake, about like how when you watch The Witch, you kind of like feel icky or you kind of want to turn it off because you feel like you shouldn't be watching it. I
Mhm.
feel like that the way that you almost this kind of felt had that visceral feel when they were in that cave. It's like this is very personal. It's just something that like these people take very seriously and like an experience that like it's true to them. You know what I mean? And he does that really well. It makes it feel true to what's going on. It's very real, very visceral. I keep saying that. I know,
About
but
that ickiness, I was gonna say that's kind of the reason I like The Witch more.
Me
I
too.
feel like that's why I
Me
like
too.
The Witch. I like that
I
ickiness
definitely
in
have
that
big
way.
appreciation for it.
There's a lot
for
of
sure.
ickiness I don't like, but I
That's
like
the reason
that
why I
ickiness.
love fucking Midsummer too. It's very icky. It's very like fuck. It's very cringy. Same
It was
thing.
hard to
Like
watch.
sometimes hard to watch.
But
Hard
I
that
love
That's
that.
all I'm saying.
those
Yeah.
movies hard to watch. Hereditary hard to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
I didn't
getting
I
so
didn't
we got
find Northman hard to watch.
no. Well, this
That's
isn't
what I was
this
like.
isn't a horror movie. This isn't
No.
a horror movie.
There were a
No, that's
couple
true.
like whoa, like oh my god kind of moments, but like
Yeah,
they,
some
yeah,
shocking
you're right.
moments, but
There wasn't like there wasn't like the end of those movies, like the end of Midsommar or like the fucking
The end of Hereditary when they're chanting Pyman and he
Yeah.
goes into the dude's body. One of the
Yeah.
best endings in movie history.
or
Dude,
the
we're getting-
beginning of
or
Midsommar,
the beginning of Midsommar or the beginning of
Yeah.
Hereditary.
or the
Yeah.
middle of Midsommar, or like any most of it.
We're getting a new Eggers, a new Jordan Peele, and a new Ari Aster this year. It's pretty
Ooh,
good.
JPZ. We haven't done a Jordan Peele.
And a
Yeah.
Alex Garland too.
And
Have
Alex
we?
Garland,
Speaking
yeah.
of fucked up movies, have we watched Eli Roth?
We haven't.
No,
I think
Have you
we've
guys seen
his
all Eli
movies.
Roth?
I have.
movies?
I haven't
Jake hasn't
seen. I haven't
Hostel.
seen Hostel.
What?
Jake hasn't seen Hostel.
Hostel too. I
We
never
should
saw it.
probably do both Hostels because
Have you seen Saw, Jake?
Because the
I've seen
second
Saw,
one's
yeah.
better. Hostel 2 is better than Hostel 1, so we should probably do the second one.
Really? You think
I think
Hostel 2 is
so.
better?
I think
I
well,
With
it
the
is.
girls?
No, and it is. You know why? Well, you haven't seen it, Jake, so I don't want to give it away, but it is because it's different stakes because it's. I don't want to say anything. Hostel 2 is definitely better.
I don't know. Originals tend to be better.
Actually, I'm
Hostel 2
remembering
is
Hostel 2.
great.
Hostel 2 is like they just took a turn with it and like we're
Yeah.
like, well, what if we do this? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Hostel 2 is
It's
good.
really good. It expands on.
Hostel 1. It's one of those movies where like I feel like Eli Roth was like, well, let's see if I can get enough money to make this fucking movie, and
Exactly.
they made it. And
Hostel
they're
2
like,
is
oh
good.
shit, we could do that. Well, let's do this, and then they made
Yeah,
Hostel,
Hostel
2.
2 is much more amped up. It's like almost like
More budget. It's
more
like 28
budget.
weeks later.
bigger scope. Yeah, well, yeah. The opening 28 weeks later might be top 3 openings of any movie of all time.
But it's like, it was kind of a completely different thing. They just got more
Yeah.
money for it,
Yeah,
kind of situation.
different director too, so it wasn't shot like 28 Days was. That was shot on like HVXs and shit.
Yeah. What movie we talking about? Northman. So you didn't like the
Northman.
camera work, huh?
No. This is the thing. I don't want to say I
fucking
didn't like
great
it.
cinematography.
I
Really
think I
great.
just had. It was amazing. The camera
Wild.
work was awesome. The camera work was awesome. His camera work's always awesome, and the fact that he shot like in the aspect ratio too it was definitely anamorphic, right? Like everything was anamorphic. Had to be. They were doing fucking close ups, and there was so much going on around them.
Massive Talent was definitely anamorphic.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I just watched it last night. I was like, I was looking at the Boca the whole time.
Another great movie. There's been good movies out lately.
You guys see that one?
Massive Talent. Yes.
Wait, are we talking about the Northman?
Yes.
Yeah, but massive. So should we just do Massive Talent next? Should we just cut here, go to Mass, and just do another one? Do 2 in a row? We'll talk.
Maybe,
We'll talk.
maybe.
We'll see.
WT.
I think
Northman.
the other weird recording we had that went poorly is that's our mini episode of Unbearable Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. See how that one sounds. Maybe it could be a mini-sode.
I don't think it's gonna sound good. We should just talk about it right now.
We'll see. Now let's focus on the Northman.
How jacked was Skarsgård?
So jacked.
You know his brother's It.
Yeah. I thought for a minute, you remember like the scene with the witch when it had like the Willem Dafoe's talking head?
Yeah.
I thought that was Stellan Skarsgård for a minute.
I don't remember.
He was
that
supposed to be in this movie actually, but he couldn't. He had to drop out because of COVID
Yeah, he would have been good
reasons.
at that
part.
part.
Remind me of the witch with Defoe's head. What was
Okay,
going
it
on there?
It was after he got to.
This is he's not a kid, right? Or is
No,
this when
no,
he's a kid?
He's an adult by
this
then.
is what. So we got to talk about the story a little bit though, because I have a question about this.
Oh, we'll
Because
get
he,
All right, my bad.
but this guy that you're about to talk to, where he tells him about like he gives him the heads there, and he tells him he's gonna find the sword and shit. What was that about? Who was that? Is that just a god who was reminding him of what he had to do? Like, because what was that about?
That was supposedly a witch.
But why did he contact him?
He was
just
just
knew that he was out there, just like
well, he has a
his
weird
life, or
connection with nature. It was like he noticed there was that little like fox thing, and the fox thing led him to this cave.
he was like
And this
howling
dude
with the
happened
thing.
to be in this cave, and he talked to the dude, and then the dude had this the skull or the head of the old jester who taught
How'd
him
you know that
about-
was the jester? Did it look like him?
It looked just like
it
him.
looked
That's
like
what-
him,
that's
Okay.
what it
but then it had the voice. It like kind of started talking.
It
said.
It
He
was
talks.
it
says
didn't talk, but
He
like
says
the
it's him.
yeah, he's like kind of started like weirdly hallucinating because he like cut the hair of it and then he threw it in the fire. Then the fire went up and then he started telling him like about he started telling him about the sword.
Yeah.
And then the witch continued the story of the sword, and then he had to go get the sword.
Yeah, because
Fucking
This
weird,
was
man.
All at
Well,
in
it's just-
when he got to Iceland.
Yeah, this is the start of the revenge part. This is where he
Yeah.
starts fucking with people. And then he joins forces with Anya Taylor-Joy, and she's like a voodoo.
Yeah,
fucking
so he jumps on a ship as a
Yeah.
slave,
goes to
After he's a
Iceland.
berserker,
acts like a slave.
he realizes the ship is going to Iceland. He hears about the
His
guy
uncle's
who's
been
his uncle.
overthrown.
Yeah, and
so
that
he's living
same
in exile.
and right before that,
We should definitely learn how to read Viking.
yeah,
That Viking scratch.
Yeah.
oh yeah, for sure.
We should learn how to write and read that, and we
Definitely.
will write. We'll like be pen pals. But people can't read our shit.
Definitely.
It's like invisible ink. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So his dad, where were we? His dad died, and his dad
Ethan
was killed.
Hawke.
Dad was killed by the uncle, and then he ran away.
Scar.
And yeah, Scar. So Simba ran away, became a Viking.
Matt Nala.
Yep, Matt Nala, or Ophelia, or Olga. They're all the same characters. And yeah, when he was a Viking, he as a berserker, he invaded a village, and then at the village is where he ran into that witch doctor lady, who was played by Bjork, and she reminded
Witch
him,
Doctor.
or she was what was it? No, they would call her like a seer or something like that.
I'm sorry. Witch Doctor.
Witch doctor,
Oh,
Bjork, Dr. Bjork.
the actor Bjork. Yeah, she was
Dr. Bjork.
some sort of other sorcerer. There's a lot of sorcery going on in this movie.
what's your
Yeah.
favorite
Yeah.
Bjork song?
You know what's crazy?
have
Like
no idea.
when these times actually existed, did all this kind of shit just really happen? Or was all this like sorcery and
I
magical things just
think all this stuff
happening?
was part of like Viking lore.
and then like overpopulation happened and all the mystical shit was just like, you know what? We're out of here.
Yeah, all the religions were different back
we're
then.
leaving.
Maybe there were
Who-
actual witches.
Who
doing
is
magic and shit.
Who is the mystical shit though
I don't
that
know,
said we're
man. Where'd
leaving?
it go? That's what I'm saying. Where's it at? We can bring it back.
I don't
Let's
know.
find it.
Bring it back.
Let's get it
dude.
back here.
I don't
wanna-
think
I
it
wanna
ever
know.
was.
Well, then what's going on with this?
I think it's all like
It's like-
folklore. It's all
it's
like,
like the
fairy tales and
Bible.
shit. It's all a story. Like Amleth was never a person. He was
No,
just a
neither was
story.
Jesus.
Exactly. It's sort of like Jesus.
neither was
or-
Tyler Durden.
Neither
Robin
was-
Hood.
Neither was Hamlet. Neither
His
was
name
Simba.
was Robert.
You're not real,
Paulson.
man.
We may not be real.
Neither was Bill the Butcher.
We're living in a simulation.
Neither was Liam Neeson's.
Don't fucking tempt me, dude. We are in a simulation. This is a simulation. This is someone's video game, and we're fucking non-player characters here for someone else's entertainment. It's
All right,
bullshit.
Jake. What did you love about this movie? Tell me something you absolutely loved.
Probably Skarsgård's body. Like Jesus
Good
Christ.
God, is
Yeah,
he gonna?
was
Is he
jacked.
gonna fucking join the MMA like Jake Paul?
Well, if you haven't
I don't
seen him
know.
lately, he's definitely not as jacked as he was. So calm down.
Do you think Jake Paul would fight him?
I don't think. Why do you love Jake Paul so much?
I'm just saying. I thought it was Jake Paul for half the movie.
That's
Just no-
crazy.
No dumb tattoos though. He just had badassery.
You don't know that. Maybe they took him out with CG. Maybe he had. Maybe they added a couple extra abs with CG. That's what I ask whenever I'm on screen. Give me a couple extra abs.
So yeah, he got the sword, and he was reminded of his vow to get revenge, and like he
So
saw
this
the
fucking
crow,
special fucking guy,
crow
the
was the
Raven.
ghost of his
Hold on,
father.
hold on a second.
the Raven.
So this special guy just gets hanging out in this cave. The fucking fox is just like, hey man, howl with me, come with me.
Yeah.
And then he's like, hey man, if you in case you forgot, here's Defoe's fucking head. He's gonna remind you. And then he's like, oh shit, yeah, kill fucking my uncle, save my mom, and then fucking kill cool again.
Yeah, avenge my father,
Avenge
save
my-
my mother,
Kill Julio.
Fugger, or whatever his
All
name
right.
is.
So that's where we are. And he gets the sword, then what?
What is the uncle's name in Hamlet, Jake?
What's up?
Is it Churro?
What's the uncle's name in Hamlet?
Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
He's gonna Google it.
The uncle's name in Hamlet. There is no uncle. Just King Claudius.
Claudius.
goes by?
My man.
And he's the one that kills the father.
Yes, he's the one who killed the father, Claudius.
Claudius.
Yes.
What's the father's name? Mufasa.
I don't remember because he just goes as ghost because he only appears as
It's King
the
something.
ghost. But
It's
I know
King
he had
something.
he had a name.
Yeah.
But those names
Called
aren't
King something.
similar to the names in
Lion
the
King.
Northmen. Like in the Northmen, like Ophelia and Olga are similar names. Amleth and Hamlet are similar names. Gundren and Gertrude, the queens, are similar names. Things like that.
Have you ever seen Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil?
Yeah, it's a Clint Eastwood movie. It is.
Is it?
Clint Eastwood directed that movie.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That's a Shakespeare. Shakespeare. I saw that play. Japanese Gardens, Los Angeles.
So listen, that character that guy plays, the guy who's got the head of Willem Dafoe, he's called a he-witch. That's another fucking thing. A magician, also known as an enchanter or enchantress, mage, magic user,
Mage.
sorcerer, sorceress, spellcaster, warlock, witch, or wizard. He's a he-witch.
Mage. That's what I call Jillian. Get over here, mage.
So the sword that he gets to is called Dragur, and it's a magical sword that can only be drawn at night. I feel like we got to give people some fucking info because this
Yeah.
movie's all about this info.
I don't think
Yeah,
I
what
even
was up with
noticed
that
in
sword?
the first time around that it could only be drawn.
I
at night.
knew that-
noticed the first
No.
time.
I knew that sometimes it couldn't be drawn. I just thought it was kind of a Thor's hammer situation.
Yeah, I thought it was only by him type of thing. And now it's
Or
only
like
by
the-
him.
that.
or
Only at
King
night.
Arthur.
Because I noticed that when he was like fighting later on, when it was after he revealed himself to his mother, that
Mama.
he was about to kill Olga. The
It is
king was about to
me.
kill Olga, and then he popped up out of the hills like, "It's me! I am the vengeance of my father!"
Yeah.
And like then he just started fighting the dudes with the sword, but he never pulled the sword out, and I didn't realize why.
He kept it
Those were
sheathed.
nice.
But now I understand because the he witch told him it can only be
So,
seen
and
at
then
night,
Anya's
or unseen at
character,
night.
did she was
Olga.
her whole plan to like
Olga.
get impregnated by this dude to like spread like what he was, like the king in him and like the warrior? Is that like we think that was the plan? Like they met each other because of that?
I don't, not necessarily. I
Yeah,
think they
that
were
was
like that was his part of his prophecy, but I think they just liked each other.
This
I don't
happened- yeah,
think
this
that was a
happened in the-
plan.
this
He
happened
I
in
mean
the-
he seemed pretty surprised when he touched her and figured it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true. When he
he
saw
just
the thing.
and he just
You go-
bounced.
yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you're having kids? I got some I gotta
You had to
get
take care of.
there's I left the stove running. I'll
Listen,
be right back."
take everything. I gotta swim.
Yeah.
You be the heir, he says.
Oh, you're
You'll
pregnant?
bear the heir.
Bye. I got bitches on that island.
Then he goes and dies, but he decapitates that motherfucker first.
How epic was that little scene? Because like you didn't expect that sword to stay where it was when the guy fell, right?
You
Like,
did
guess
not.
so.
oof, that was great.
Yeah.
That was
pretty dope.
great. Very Frank Miller esque. No, were you guys getting those vibes?
At times,
look?
yeah.
The look of it,
The
yeah.
look, yeah, the look and the feel of cotton. It's a fabric of our lives.
Well, I noticed there was like they did like the gray tone, like the washed out gray style, when the mythical or the spiritual shit was going on. Like whenever he saw like that weird woman played by Bjork, or whenever he saw the he witch, or whenever like that stuff was at play, it was like a weird color pattern.
Yeah, they definitely want to separate it, I'm sure.
Different CP.
But they did
Yeah.
good with like changing between those like mysterious scenes and then like the whatever would real life would be.
And nobody's making movies about this kind of shit right now. Like this
No.
is like something that's like we're talking about it being like specific to stories that we've heard a million times before, but his movies are more about the experience you're going through and the feel that
Yes.
it gives you and the things it evokes in you and the things that you know what I mean. Like, and
This
he
movie's
does
an
that really well.
experience above all
Exactly.
else.
He's and that and so is The Lighthouse and The Witch is
Fuck
the
yeah.
ultimate and The Witch is like the ultimate experience. Like
I
Witch
think when it
was-
comes to experience, the lighthouse puts you in
That's a
a
weird one.
space and just keeps you there.
yeah.
Like the witch does too, but the witch and the Northman just seem a lot more cohesive than the lighthouse. The lighthouse was just a little like didn't really know what was going on in the lighthouse.
Yeah, the
I
lighthouse
mean,
is just out there.
he tells these small
Far out.
tales. You
Real
know what I
far.
mean? These very. I mean, this was a bit much bigger tale than any of these other ones, but
Right.
it still wasn't that big. You know what I mean? Still was a very like
And
everything felt
it's an
pretty
old it's
contained,
an old
which
stare.
was
It's
cool.
an old story.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's the thing. Like I said the thing about the cinematography before, and I'm not saying
You
it looks
hated
bad.
it.
I'm just saying that I question if that was the right move. Like I feel like I needed more chaos and. But I'm used to seeing that. I guess this is definitely a singular vision too. Like this is definitely a Robert Eggers movie.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Robert Eggers, he could do anything. It doesn't matter if it's a story told over again. He's the kind of guy that it's like, oh man, I would love to see like Robert Eggers make a Star Trek. You know, like oh, I'd love to see like his spit. Like oh, like he's gonna do that movie. I'd love to see his because either way, no matter what, you know, you're gonna get something fucking different. Doesn't matter what it is.
Because that I was almost
Experience.
because I almost noticed immediately that it was going to be like the old Hamlet story. So I kind of saw it a little bit as predictable because I kind of saw the beats coming as they went. Like there was even little bits of dialogue early on between like him and his mother that sort of hinted out that was going to happen. So like I saw the uncle killing his father before it happened. Like I figured that was going to happen. Figured that was going to be him growing up to be that guy, get revenge. I figured they were both going to die at the end because it's just how it goes in
Ugh,
Shakespearean movies.
I didn't expect that.
Which
You know,
was
it's not
almost
in
kinda
Hamlet.
weird,
Tiny
but-
brace face young Valkyries flying to Valhalla. They ain't in Hamlet.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I've never read it, so I don't. I can't prove that.
But that said, I think the familiarity of the story I did like, and I liked the way it was played out. I liked the way it was like presented visually. It was again a fucking incredible visual movie. But I did kind of see the story for what it was before it kind of happened. So simple story, but fucking execution was killer.
Simpsons did it, huh?
Simpsons did it probably. I'm sure there's a Simpsons episode it's just like this.
Fight scenes were pretty epic, though. I'm trying to remember, like what. I guess they could have been just more. I don't know. I kind of liked. I was into it. There were fucking volcanoes erupting in the background and shit.
No,
I was
badass.
into it too, man. I was. Just
Oh,
making
and the
fun
last
and-
fucking fight, the last dude, that was straight up Star Wars Episode 3, Mustafa.
Yeah, dude.
100%,
when
yeah.
they're on
Dude.
the planet,
I was
for
thinking of
sure.
the episode.
I have the upper ground, Anakin.
I have the high ground.
Dude, you're going down a path I cannot follow.
Yeah, I
Such-
guess
For my brother Anakin.
I guess what
Doesn't
this
that just make you want to write movies? Like, fuck, these are
One of these, yeah.
terrible.
Well, George Lucas definitely ain't
I could write better than this.
better writer, that's for sure. No, I like. I mean, this movie was pretty great. It put you in a place where you thought you were seeing something that you don't really get to see very often. It's like, when have you seen a movie with that like sport in it? What was that sport that they played? That was pretty sick. Knocking that fucking
don't
ball.
know.
against
Fucking
the-
Quidditch, bro.
We'll see.
That's OG Quidditch.
Quidditch. Quidditch is made up.
Kinda.
Harry
Other was
Potter.
cricket. What is it?
It's a real game, though.
Looked, it's pretty violent.
People play it.
Quidditch
I
is
mean,
violent?
it's only violent because they beat the shit out of each other. They
That
use
dude was just straight
slaves.
killing people. Yeah, they almost killed his brother, but then he saved his brother, showing
I
that
could
he
play
can
that
show
game.
love.
I was really good at games.
Bet you were.
I'm super good at games. I'm the best gamer.
Favorite
well-
scenes? Who's got a favorite scene?
Shit. So
I
many
think
good scenes.
mine's definitely the last scene. There's no doubt about it. It's just too cool.
The volcano fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
just
was dope.
awesome.
Honestly,
Meet me at hell.
For how violent it was,
Hell's Gates.
I really loved the initial Viking scene, like when he was kind of first introduced, like when there were the sequence of like him being like that little wolf dancing sequence at the fire,
Yeah.
going into the invasion of the village. Just
Yeah,
how that was shot and how like intense that was.
Yeah.
It reminded me like of a Game of Thrones episode,
sure.
and just that whole sequence was super dope. That was great. But obviously the end sequence was probably
Yeah. The end sequence was insane. But anything when he was a Viking, yeah, that like you were saying, that very first fucking raid scene was pretty brutal.
They
But
threw all
also the
kids
beginning,
and
I
shit
think
in
just the
house.
beginning, all of him as a kid, and
Yeah.
like him becoming a man with Ethan Hawke,
farting and burping.
that wolf
farting
scene.
and burping and,
Yeah.
and shit. That was pretty wild.
Yep.
Yeah.
This movie was wild.
Any scenes with them acting like wolves was good.
Savage when they were attacking dressed as wolves, and everyone's like, "Holy shit, it's the fucking Vikings!" And they're like, "Yo!" And then they were like,
throws-
"Weren't they controlling the wolves?"
Were they?
Somehow he did, yeah. Somehow he was
dog,
like
the dog, yeah.
howling enough where like the dog like attacked the king guy
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
or Fuhrer or whatever his name
Nicole Kidman. There were times where I was like, "Is that Nicole Kidman?" Yeah, that's
Okay,
Nicole. Is
so
that Nicole Kidman?
Let's talk
She's
about that a
great.
little more though, with the whole thing where she was like, "Yeah, you were a child of rape, so I wanted to sabotage everything." And then she said that if he killed her now husband, that they would be together.
Oh yeah, what was
What's
up with
with
that? Now there's a lot of incest in
I think she
Shakespeare,
was
right?
fucking with him, but I think
You think she was trying to manipulate that dude?
She's-
so, yeah.
You think she was gonna stab him?
That
I don't know about
bitch.
stab.
You think
Yeah,
she was gonna
maybe.
bite his dick off?
Ooh,
Perhaps.
that would have been cool.
Yeah, that was some weird shit.
Imagine
She-
she bit his dick off, then he
She
bit her
definitely
titty
was. They bit each other's dick off.
Yeah.
off. He bit her titty off.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
those two were married in those two actors were married in a different TV show.
Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies. Yeah, they were married.
Yeah, they
You're
were.
bringing me out of the world, man.
Sorry. But it's a Sally Field Tom Hanks situation.
SFTH. Was there a Hanks in this movie? I don't think so.
No, Sally Field and Tom Hanks were lovers in a movie, and then Sally Field was his mother in Forrest Gump like a couple years later.
Never seen it.
He fucked his mom.
Yeah, pretty much.
Back to the Future. Incest.
Yeah.
Dude, people love incest. Hollywood. What's up with Hollywood? They drinking baby blood and fucking their moms.
Yeah. I don't know.
You've been to those clubs.
Tale as old as time.
That's what's happening at the penthouse of the Magic Castle.
All right, what else? Anything else about this movie you want to talk about?
I like the part where they poisoned the dudes and they were like tripping out and
That was cool.
and then they basically attacked them. Then he
So
killed all
Anya
of those dudes.
Taylor-Joy was just a witch who saw a way to make a better life, and these people just bonded, banged, had kids, and she went on to. What did she think? Did she make a sequel to this and see what happened with that, or what?
Yeah, I mean, the visions are that she had twins and that they became
kings.
royal.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, they were on the tree.
Yeah, the family tree.
The tree. Was that tree to be, or was that tree just like, knock on
Well, that's
wood,
why
hope
he
this
told her-
happens?
That's why I told her to go, because he was like, "You got to go bear these children so that tree could happen.
They're going to have bear children?
You got to go bear
This movie
children."
was
A bear
wild.
children?
Yeah, it was good. It was great. Robert Eggers is definitely my top filmmakers right now as far as movies I love.
He's doing good things.
Make some good ones.
He's doing
Three-
good things.
three-
Got a
three
lot
for
of good
sure.
people. Bringing Ethan Hawke back in the game.
Ethan Hawke
Ethan
never,
Hawke's
never
never
went away,
gone.
man.
He's never
been
been
around.
gone.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he was nominated for an Oscar 3 years ago.
13 years ago.
Reformed.
What for Boyhood?
First Reformed.
I don't think he was nominated for First Reformed, but
He
that
wasn't?
was
Oh,
fairly
pretty
that was fairly recent though, and that was a good
Yeah,
movie. Did you see First
28.
Reformed, Anthony?
That was good.
Yeah, I did, and it was terrible.
What?
I remember the ending being really strange, but I think I liked
There
the
was no
movie.
payoff in the end.
Awful.
Yeah, the end
He
I
didn't
was kind of like,
blow
what
up.
the fuck was
Not
He didn't
worth
blow
watching.
himself up.
that? Maybe not.
Yeah, I kind of thought that. at the end,
I
too.
had
was
yeah,
like,
I had
"Fuck,
different
man."
mixed opinions at the end.
We
I
watched all
I
that for
enjoyed it
this?
though. I enjoyed the ride of the movie.
It's not a ride movie.
That's Paul Schrader, and he makes a lot of dark things, so it's
Okay.
pretty good.
Detective Schrader.
Todd Schrader.
So,
P.S.
in the Outer Range,
It's gonna be funny because when this episode comes out, the show's gonna be over and we're gonna know everything.
Yeah.
So we're gonna listen to this and
Oh,
sound like idiots.
Hold on though. Let's rank this then. Let's end this properly if we got nothing else to say.
Properly.
Do you have anything else to say, Anthony?
Nothing left to say.
What about you, Jake?
I don't know. Do we do all the Shakespearean quizzes? Do we have
Um,
any quizzes?
No,
Quizzing?
we're done with the Shakespeare.
What are the Harry
yeah.
Potter? Do we talk about Harry Potter?
We get it.
Oh yeah,
We
it was
did
a little
talk about
Quidditch like. Also, in Harry Potter, in the very end, when he's trying to avenge his father in a way, much like this movie, he finds out that his father was kind of an asshole in high school or whatever in wizarding college.
Right.
Much like this movie, where
Yeah,
when
he
he
found out his
goes
dad
to
was rich.
avenge his father, and he only knew his father as a young child, and his father was his hero. He didn't know that his father raped his mother, which is the reason he is alive, and she became his wife out of basically just him making her. Yeah, so there's some similarities there since you brought up Harry Potter.
It's good Nicole Kidman acting in that scene. I thought she did a good
Nicole
job.
Kidman is not in Harry Potter, no.
Thought
I'm
she played
talking about the scene
Dobby.
in The Northman.
You know, Harry Potter only stars British people
And Dobby.
and
That's
Dobby.
fucked up.
All right, where do you rank it? Or what did you rank it, Anthony? Definitely interested in your number on this one.
Your overall rank number.
I didn't rank it.
Oh shit! All right, Jake, where do you rank it?
Where do I rank it?
Yeah,
I haven't thought about it yet.
I'm thinking about it right now.
I'm thinking so hard.
I'm thinking really hard.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking so hard.
Alright,
Skarsgård's pretty rad.
I'm
dude.
going 17.
Hold on. How did it be? How did it begin? What was the first scene?
Was
The first scene was the father
bird,
calling back.
the bird flying, and then the fucking
Yeah.
camera pans right, and
Oh,
it shows
yeah.
the ships fucking going up to the castle on the island, and then it's the king coming back.
Yeah, the first shot was like the volcano.
Oh yeah, and then it says it's narrated. It's like this
Narrated.
is a tale.
This is a tale of a guy named Amleth who had to do revenge, and we're gonna show you how it happened. It was like,
The music. We didn't talk about the music. The music was pretty great. Music was pretty fucking good. The soundtrack.
Yeah, it was pretty
Pretty-
solid.
pretty good, man. They were hit pretty hard at moments.
Like what moment? What did you
mean,
notice the
any-
music in?
Anytime there was like an introduction to a character, really, in almost all the beginning scenes, like something crazy happened, whether it be with drums or with like some sort of noise that echoed. Like it was pretty sick. Like even like noises of like the horses stampeding in or the dogs coming in when the uncle comes
Yeah.
in. There was a lot of like sound design of loud things happening when people were
Wild,
entering. Yeah.
Loud, wild, but not overwhelming.
No, it was great. Very well done.
Very well done. It's definitely gonna get
Some recognition too. People are gonna be talking about this.
it's an achievement.
All
We're
right,
talking
I'm
about
going.
it.
I'm going 17. Where you guys putting it?
17 for Schwartz.
Wow.
Wow. I'm in that range. I'm trying to decide right now.
All right, I ranked it.
What you got? Do you want me to do it for you, or do you want to do it? Do it.
No. I just gave it. I ranked it in my ranker.
Oh, your number.
What's your number?
Scale.
I guess your
Uh,
number. I'm gonna say 7.2.
Overall.
Yeah.
Okay. Jake, you got a guess? 7.5.
Ooh.
7.575.
That's a good one.
7.575 for Anthony Islami, which I guess if I'm going with those numbers puts it in. Let's go. I know the range that it's in. See, this list is good because I can put it in the range of the numbers that I like. Or I mean the numbers tell me what range to put it in, and then I see the movies in that range and I can rank it in those movies.
That's good.
I'm a fucking genius, dude. I'm a fucking genius. Okay, sorry. Let me see. You got a number, Jake?
Pick it or stick
Yeah.
it.
I'm actually also gonna be at 17.
No
What?
fucking way.
No way, Jose.
Yeah, why?
Why 17?
Well, I was looking at it and I also see Promising Young Woman, and then I bumped up Promising Young Woman and I put it just under Promising Young Woman.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's the Northman right under Promising Woman.
Oh, you're not gonna believe this.
What's that?
You put it at 17.
No, because that would mean Magnolia is better than this movie.
I have Magnolia ranked higher than this movie.
Probably do
Yeah,
too.
but you guys are dumb.
Magnolia is pretty great.
You're right. I'm gonna put it at 19,
Ooh.
just
Think
above the
Sleep-
Rover.
Sleepy Hollow's better than this.
You're goddamn right it is, Jake.
God,
Gross.
the Rover is such a good movie.
You doing it or
Rover's
am I
such a good
doing it?
movie. I kind of wanted to watch the Rover again.
So good.
It's a good rewatch.
Is it a good rewatch?
Yeah,
It is.
What about a
I've
good
seen
3-watch? Is it a 3-watch?
I don't know about that. But that
Yeah.
seems a lot.
I've seen it probably like 5 or 6 times. It's pretty great. All right. Well, good. Watch fucking Northman.
Am I doing it, Anthony, or did you do it?
Did what? You go ahead. You go ahead.
I'm doing it.
What's
The
our next
highest
movie?
rating I gave was cinematography.
What's the
Makes
lowest?
sense. What did you give cinematography?
8.8.
Okay,
Good call.
Heavy cinematography in this movie.
indeed.
What's our next pick, Anthony?
Lowest was writing story,
Yeah.
because
I
it's
see that.
just is.
Everyone knows the story. It's a typical story.
Oh,
all
shit,
right.
We've come back to the full circle animated
Next
movie.
pick. Uh,
Here we are.
All
I
right, so
got-
hold on. Before you say it, do we get to? Do me and Jake get to choose out of the two, or what?
would you like to?
Yeah, I think we should.
It would
I-
be,
I would-
it
I
be
would
nice
like
to
to-
have a little option. Well,
Let
it
me ask
depends.
you this.
Also, we don't know if we've seen them.
Yes,
True.
Let me also ask you this. Do you have 3? Because I think you have 3. This might be a little better.
I have another animated movie,
All right, let's do
but
3. Let's do out of 3.
no, because I want it to be one of these two.
All right, go ahead.
Uh,
So what happens if me and Jake both pick the opposite one? Then you get to pick which one it is. You get the final vote.
I get the final vote no matter what.
Right.
No, I mean if we both pick one, I think it should be that one.
Okay,
We
that's
both
fine.
pick the
Fair
same
enough.
one. All
Fair
right,
enough.
Cool. All right, go ahead.
Have either of you seen The Haunted World of El Super Beasto?
hmm
No, I have not seen that.
Cool. Or a movie called Porco Rosso.
I've never seen that.
I've never heard of that.
I never heard of it. What is it?
They're both animated movies. You get to pick one.
Can you get Porco Rosso? Can we find it? Like, is that?
Yeah,
streaming?
it's around. I think it's even on HBO or Amazon for free.
What the
All right,
fuck? What
Porco
what is that?
Rosso. I gotta look it up.
Porco Rosso is a movie directed by Hayao Miyazaki.
Okay.
It's anime like
I just read the synopsis.
Yeah.
Definitely watch that.
yeah.
I'm definitely down to watch.
So
that.
it's put out by Studio Ghibli. It's a Ghibli film, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a series of
It's on
these
HBO.
animated movies.
It's on HBO. You can
How
watch
do
it on
you
HBO.
even spell that?
Porco Porcco or Porco Rosso Rosso. Porco
Okay.
Rosso.
It's got a 7.7 rating. Those are Anthony. Those are two surprisingly great picks. I'll give you that. I'd watch either one though. They're both. I've never seen.
I
Porco
think we should do
Rosso.
both eventually, since we haven't seen both. But I've
All right.
never seen Porco Rosso all the way through, but it's a movie in those films that I think we should watch one of those Ghibli movies.
Porco Rosso's playing at the Alamo Draft House in downtown LA tomorrow. At noon.
On, dude.
Is it really?
You know,
Yeah, I'm not
Ah,
going, but
tomorrow afternoon.
yeah,
What time?
noon.
I mean, I could be there by noon. No, I can't because I rented my car at 10 a.m.
Ah,
Damn it.
well,
Either way, Porco Rosso. Then we'll do Porco Rosso.
yeah, I'm more intrigued by that.
Oh, well, we're still rolling, so we're gonna do Porco Rosso. available on HBO Go. Or go to the Alamo Draft House. There's one of those in LA.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
right.
there's one in downtown LA, is what it says.
Go to the Alamo Draft House tomorrow
Of
afternoon
course,
at
this is
noon.
coming out in 2 weeks, so that
Well, if you're
doesn't
listening
make any
live,
sense, which is
my dad is
impossible.
in the corner. He's been here the whole time listening live. Go to the
way.
Alamo Draft House tomorrow.
Has he really been there? That's weird.
downtown
kidding.
LA.
He just comes as a yeah, been the whole time.
He's in the corner rolling me joints.
That's cool.
Nice. God bless.
Thanks for listening to Making Me Watch Movies. Follow us on Instagram. And shout out to who listens?
I
Reed.
don't know. Does anybody listen anymore?
Justin listens to these.
I don't think anybody listens.
Justin, Ed.
Big Cat doesn't.
Thank you for your service. Anyone who listens that's in the services industry.
Thanks for listening. Thanks. Thank you for your service if you work in the service industry.
And shout out to the Big Cat.